Hi guys, how may I meet you? It's MicheleMarieDalene, and today we're going to talk about what we talked about in the last few days. And I did have a vlog ready for this morning, but I decided instead of using that vlog, I'm going to do a fresh one. And stick up morning glories under my eyes, but I do now have the ability to see my pupil when I look in my eyes in the mirror now. So I guess I'm a right eye. So I guess it's kind of a crapshoot. My eye's doing okay. My left eye is. My right eye is kind of still slowly improving. But you know what? You take what you can get. First of all, I wanted to explain what I said about McDonald's yesterday. I'm not retracting anything. But I want to kind of, after I watched the video, I have to admit, I kind of busted out laughing in the end when I said, "Have a nice day." Because here I was trying to tell you the sad truth, and I said in the end, George Carlin would be rolling his grave. So me, "Have a nice day." It's just stupid to say that, because clearly after you hear some news like that, I don't think you're going to have a nice day. It wasn't meaning to be mean. Yeah. So how is your right eye? Yeah. Oh, okay. You still got some double vision on it. Yeah, I still can see a little bit of double vision on the reels, but they seem to be getting more. I'm talking about the film reels on my well, which, if you look in the pictures I put up on my YouTube channel or on my video website page, you probably will see the rails when you look through the certain pictures. But yes, indeed, I did wanted to address those health issues to you because I felt they were very serious. Because it's true that there's a lot of things going on with our food. And Rusty Cat, would you mind showing up on camera for a little bit? I know my audience wants to see you a bit. Oh, all right. He's not really too camera liking. Okay. Oh yeah. He's growing up. And okay. So anyway, I was just trying to say is that in the video there's so many things going on behind the scenes that you don't know. On the last video Dory made with me, which was around April 2nd, we made a commitment to work on a weight loss program. That's a little bit of an interesting twist. Now, she has type 2 diabetes. She's insulin resistant. And that's because she's been taking, at the order of her doctor, she's been taking a lot of insulin. In addition to, she doesn't really normally focus on her weight as much as she should. And so her insulin levels are out of this world. I mean, seriously. 255, like she said, and then she said she saw right after we had lunch at McDonald's on the 3rd, she said, my blood sugar went up to 455, and then it came down a few minutes later. I said, well, that's because your insulin, your pancreas is still working to handle the insulin. So you're going to still, but the problem is a lot of good portion of your cells had gotten kind of immune to all this insulin, which is true. Now, what the other medical doctor said about the problem is if you eat too much carbohydrates, which the American Diabetic Association pushes, is that it goes through your system, and of course it's got to be processed by your insulin to go to the cells. It's actually technically carbohydrates are not exactly low energy. It takes a lot of processing to convert the sugars into glucose in some cases. It may seem like it's not that much of a difference, but the truth is So, and same thing with starches. So, what do you do? Well, one that this doctor said there is you should go ahead and partake of using fats. And the other thing was he never mentioned in the video, in the TED video from Purdue, is how much fats are you supposed to eat? And I thought about that. And I said to myself, well, I don't think she wants you to eat more than your recommended daily allowance of fats. Which is, in this last few 30, 40, 50 years, we see the recommended daily allowance of fats is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. But we human beings enjoy fat. It makes us feel good. Okay, there's nothing wrong with low fats, but the problem is that there's a lot of trans fat and a lot of polysaturated and unsaturated. And how are you supposed to know what is good and what's bad fat? I gotta be honest, I'm still learning. Okay, I have a goal. I made it clear on this second with Dory. I want to lose to start with, right? Because I know it's reasonable. I know I can do it. I want to lose 10 pounds. By the time I see Dr. Lemon about on May 11th, if I can get 10 pounds off, I would be happy. Okay, I've done it before. I can do it again. I'm sure I can. But now, at the same time, I'd like to see Dory also able to successfully make some weight loss choices. So it's not just I'm not just trying to preach and tell her that she should lose weight while I go ahead and stuff my face. That's not fair, okay? But at the same time, we have two completely different problems. I have hypolipidemia, not hyperlipidemia. Hyperlipidemia is completely different than hypo. Hypo is the good lipids in my blood. The HDLs are very low. That's only about put me on the simvastatin at 10 milligrams originally to supposedly increase the good cholesterol at the same time keeping the bad cholesterol in check. The bad cholesterol never was a problem, guys. Okay, and I told this to him. I said my bad cholesterol has always been in check. You know that from ever since I started coming in here. Which has been for about, oh my God, how many years? 2005. Almost 10 years, 11 years. So the lipids is, it's not the problem, okay? But like he said, if your triglycerides, i.e. the fatty blood, is up, and it is, unfortunately, the problem is, so I have a different problem than Dory. I got fatty blood. I don't know if you can't call it diabetes, because it's not. Can I call it, fatty-beatus? What can I call it? Oh, just call what it is. Fatty blood. Fatty blood. Okay, fine. So for me, the idea of trying to say to Dory is, let's eat a high-fat diet, is not really the greatest choice. However, I think that maybe we can come up with a compromise somewhere medically. There has to be. I mean, Dr. Lemon wants me to come back on my saturated fats. Okay, I'm going to try. Okay? But the problem is this other doctor they're saying for diabetics is that you should eat fat and less carbs. He wants to eat less carbs too. So, in that case, it should be easy enough, right? You know what do you have left? You got proteins. The proteins are good. But I'm not going to eat raw chicken. And I'm not going to eat raw hamburger meat. I got to cook it. So the problem is what do you cook it with? Because then I mentioned about the different kinds of vegetable oils and canola oils. Because it seems like I'm screwed no matter how I cut it. If I fry my food, I've turned even lard into trans fat. If I boiled meat, it tastes like crap. You ever eat boiled ham? I'm not talking about lightly boiled. Dory accidentally overboiled a ham to the point where it was as tasty as tofu, which was not tasty. Tofu, by the way, it really doesn't have a flavor. Okay? That was her ham here. It was flavorless, but it was because, like she said, I didn't really know how to cook it that way. I said, well, here's a hint. You cooked it too long. I would have cooked it for maybe about a half hour and then checked it at that point and probably didn't turn the stove off, because once it reaches the nice color of cooked ham, you want to start cooking it. Otherwise, you're going to basically turn the ham into something that's not so tasty. Okay? A good portion of you did not like that video, as far as I know. How do I know? Because the number of views on YouTube tells me you did not like that video. Maybe the title was scary because it's too much like Alex Jones. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I want you to be healthy. I want you to enjoy your life. I want you to grow up. I want you to have a future. I want you to see your grandchildren and your children. I want you to live a long and healthy and prosperous life. That's what I want to see happen for everybody. And sure, sometimes when I'm doing a video like these, it seems like I'm being a little bit, caustic and a little bit maybe like a dry gallows humor. I'm sorry. Okay, it does happen. Wasn't intended that way. But it does happen. Because you see, the sad truth is I'm at a crossroads in my life right now where I'm kind of asking myself is, what am I as an individual going to do with my life? I'm 48 years old, okay? A good portion of the people in my age group are ready to retire, have already invested, or at least they should have invested some money towards the retirement funds. A lot of the people in my age group will probably be working for about another 15 years, maybe 20 years, right? And then they're going to retire. And because this is my main source of activity is these videos, I spend a lot of time researching them. And I research topics. And I work hard to keep on the top of the game. And I'm going to be honest, I'm burning the candle at both ends and in the middle because I'm trying to be a person that you can depend on for facts and information, then to help to cut through the misleading false truths. But sometimes I make things sound like I really don't take it seriously. I gotta tell you, I am trying to do my best to do something about my life, to make it better. I want to enjoy the rest of my life. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I really would love, honestly, I would love to live to be 100. 120? 100, whatever. Yes, I would. But even if I didn't, I want to go home with all my faculties. And I want to, me and Lomi have already talked about our plans for the time when it comes, when we will go home. And then we will go home. And we'll all be together with our friends and family home on the other side. But the thing is from right now, I'm not done with my chores. I got more to do. I got to reach out and to educate and to inspire. That's not easy. It's this day and age where all this hucksters trying to sell you something for $19.95 and trying to tell you that their product is going to cure every one of your diseases and maladies. And then they're sitting there saying, or some doctor saying is, you want to hear more about my book? Diet, you got to buy my book. It's like, I'm not charging you for this stuff. I'm doing my best to go through the notes, go through the mistruths, and trying my best to get the right information that you can benefit. Pro bono, no charge, gratis, free. Sometimes I do need help financially, but I'm not going to sell you this stuff. I'm going to give it to you if it really helps you. I really could use your donations. If it doesn't help you, well, okay, fine. But I've tried. All right, now the next topic we're going to talk about today, I mentioned it briefly. I'm going to talk about it. Because this is not so new. This is actually several communities already kind of decided to give up on this. Fluoridation of the town public drinking water. Fluoride. Why is it that people put it in their drinking water? What does it really do for you? The truth is fluoride in drinking water does nothing. Oh yeah, it rots your teeth out. It makes your bones brittle. And it affects your mental capacities in ways that is not intended. So the question is why for a long time was it being pushed to make because it's just like everything else I've told you. The globalists' agenda is they want you to be sick, they want you to be stupid, and they want you to die young and die hard. Because they want total control. Okay, however, as a couple of towns have realized, is fluoridation of drinking water is number one, has no beneficial effects. Number two, it costs a lot of money. And number three, where's this fluoride coming from? And number four, it's not helping our teeth and bones. It's actually destroying our teeth and our bones, making their teeth weak and rot, and stains that you cannot get out. Except the good news is it keeps your dentist very busy as he tries to figure out how to undo the damage that was caused. And second of all, like I said, it also destroys your brain, and it's not healthy. So, yeah, there's always that. I mentioned the brain a lot, because like I said before, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. A mind is the only thing I've got. I can't see very well. I can't hear very well. I can walk, but, I don't walk as good as I used to. So a mind is the one thing I got. Okay, and my mind is one of my most biggest assets. I'll get to more about the mind and why people consider me so dangerous in a second. So first I'm going to finish what I'm saying here. So a couple of towns have decided to give up on the fluoridation of water because of the fact is it has very little medicinal value. Chlorination, however, does have a value. But unfortunately, chlorine can still cause damage to the human body as well. Even though it does kill pathogens in the drinking water supply, which is useful. It's still very strong toxic product and should be used with great care. So communities that have decided that it's not economically feasible to go through with the fluoridation of water, I thank you for at least keeping in mind that a good portion of Americans who do not understand exactly what fluoride does will probably never appreciate what you've done, but those who do know and do understand, thank you very much. Is Winston's water fluoridated? I don't know. I don't think it is. But it is chlorinated, and so I have no idea if Winston has fluoride in the water. But given the town's economic situation, I don't think the town of Winston could afford to put fluoride in the water. It's just not economically feasible. Okay, so what do we mean when I say Michelle is dangerous? Now, let me explain this. Long ago, a man named Joe told my friend Ed, you met Ed, he was on a video here with you when the Donald Trump discussion, that I was dangerous. And what this guy Joe did not explain to Ed is, why am I dangerous? I'm dangerous because I know and have knowledge. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is an asset and a curse. When you know something and you have knowledge and scientific skills, analytic skills, and you have a high IQ. Now let's make sure we understand one thing about IQ for a minute. Intelligence quota is not what you think it is. It's a very simple concept of trying to pin a number onto something that is very complicated to measure. So what is intelligence quota? It has something to do with analytical thinking, has the ability involves the ability to store, process information, and the ability to see patterns in things. And as a person with a high IQ, I think my IQ is pretty close to borderline genius from what I remember or hearing on the IQ scale. I think mine is like 160. See, you're not talking to a very stupid person here. And when a person like me goes in to a subject, and this is not Asperger's trait too, which is an autistic spectrum. High functional autistics are almost always like this. Even the low functional ones are too. When we get into our subject matter, we will study a subject until we have absolutely positively exhausted every piece of information. And then, based upon what we have read, we will make our own hypothesis of what it means. And that's what makes us dangerous, because people like us are not the kind of people who just accept the just because answer. We want to know why that is, how it works, and why it doesn't work. And when we know that, and we want to share it with you. But the sad truth is, for a long time, people such as myself, which are considered the nerds and the geeks. Okay, I'm a nerd. There's a difference between a nerd and a geek. I'm gonna be honest when I say what it is. A nerd is, for the most part, they're more considered introverted. They're not really, they don't go out there in public. Okay, I'm a nerd. Chris Perello is a geek. A geek is an extroverted, knowledgeable person. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? But like a nerd and a nerdette, which I'm a nerdette, is going to sit there, is going to quietly sit behind their computer or on their bed reading a magazine, and they're going to study things, and they're going to learn, and they're going to read, and take notes. And because of my eyesight, and because taking notes on paper is a time-consuming process, I have to store my notes in here. Every single page of them. And I have to visualize every single note I take. It takes me a while to flip through my mental Rolodex, if you will, and pull out facts. And I do that because that's the easiest way for me. I still write things down, but I don't write it down as often as some people do, because my eyesight, writing is very difficult, because it takes me a while to do it. I can do it, but it just takes me a while. So for me, it makes sense to me to have the ability to have all my notes in my head and on file, and so I can read them. And when I read them, I can say, okay, I remember the command line is, for example, computer line, like the tar command, to create an archive, CF space, file name, space, path, which would be like, say, period for the current directory. So let's say, for example, okay, I'm just using an example that you fill in the blanks, okay? And the same thing, the extract file, I usually use xvf space, file name, space, if I need a certain path description, which usually is in most of the cases. And that's just to make an archive, that's not to compress it to, okay? But everything I do is because of that reason. I love knowing. I love studying. I love learning. It makes me feel good. But, and that scares people, because when you have that much knowledge on hand and you're not afraid to use it, that people consider you to be dangerous. Now, on top of that, when you're a weather sorceress on top of that, and you're successful at what you do, that scares people even further because they think just because you can make it snow in the wintertime, or you can make it, if you're a summer steward, you can make it really hot and make people sick and stuff like that because you can make it so hot. Actually, I don't really like it hot. I kind of like it mild. Remember, I'm still pro-town for the other 3 seasons. So, yeah. So I tend to try to find a compromise to the weather of the year. But that's because the fact is, number one, I am a reasonable person. I understand that not everybody is going to like what I like. So I try to come up with understanding what is and is not going to work. Okay? And that's important to remember. So yeah, having knowledge and studying and growing up and learning and being on top of your game is a big deal. So don't hate me because I'm trying to be informating you. It's just my nature. Now, speaking of informing you, I want to let you know a couple things else. And these are pretty small. That's why I wait to the end here. Number one, there is nothing. I found this out by accident, but it definitely was quite an informative test. There is nothing wrong with my 16-board switch. So what happened? Why is it not working right? Well, what happened was even with my modem from my DSL modem was doing the same thing. It was trying to plug right into it. So I said to myself, oh, that's weird. Why would it be giving me the same kind of error message on the same computer, but every other computer is working fine in the house? I said, that doesn't make any sense. So I jiggled the cord, and I got the internet back up on that computer. So I said to myself, there's the problem. It's not it's not the computer. It's not the router. It's the plug on the end that goes into the router. It's bad. It's not the router. So, we got the router back in place, but I am also ordered a couple pieces today besides the eye drops. Is I ordered a Category 5 wall mount patch panel for so that I can finally organize and nice and neatly tidy up my cables. And second thing I did was we're going to be doing is making new patch panels or patch cables to connect other computers. Okay. And that's what we're gonna do. And yeah, even though we have this black cable this blue 14-foot cable going to this computer, to this camera, it's too short. I need my white wire back. And the problem is that white wire doesn't have any RJ45 plugs. So I bought a pack of 100 of them and the eye drops. And so we're going to begin the process of doing an electrical clean sweep, if you will, trying to reorganize the mess in this house so that things are, excuse me, nice and tidy. Now, next thing I said that's a pretty big deal. Right? We're going to clean up the wiring. We're going to get the networks connected nice and good and neat, and they're going to make everything look good. Love it. Okay? I really do. Love it, love it, love it, love, 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 love. And I think that's going to be a great start for me to get these networks all cleaned up and ready to go. Next thing is that I do plan to buy some accessories for my Raspberry Pi, but I'm going to wait a little longer for a couple of reasons. Number one is I don't really want to use my PayPal credit all the time. And I don't want to use my credit cards really right now because I want to put some money back in them. So I'm going to wait a little longer because category 5, E repairs had to come first. The eye drops have to come first. And now, if I can not use too much of my PayPal credit this month, and I don't use the credit cards this month that much, then perhaps next month, my payments on both my PayPal credit and my Capital One and my First Premier will lower down, which is great. That's what I want to do. And I found out from Everscrew that I already paid the $78 in advance for this month because it came through on March 30th. Was it? Well, I paid this month's bill in advance, so I'm paid up. So now this means that when the new bill comes, it'll be by around April 3rd, May 4th. It will be due. Okay, so, and I don't know anything this month. So I finally bought, I think I explained to the lady at the phone company, I said, at the electric company, I said, I have to buy eye drops for my eyes. I do not have a choice. I am almost out. This medication is really expensive. I need it for my eyesight. I do not want to go blind again. Now, I already can see that I made some positive inroads, but it's far from perfect. I have neglected to point out that I'm supposed to take my eye drops twice a day. But because I'm trying to make the eye drops last, I haven't. And I can see the difference. And it's not very nice. So I do have to change that. Okay, so not only do I want to work on my health, I got to work on that's my health, but I got to work on my weight too, which is my health and things like that. The gentleman wanted to buy the computer I put out on demonstration some time ago, the Data General. The Data General 1, the 2T. And he asked me, he said, how much is it going to cost to ship it? I said, it's going to cost about $30. That's flat rate packaging. I haven't received a payment yet from him. However, if he's not interested, that's fine. Because I told him, I said, well, I really could use a donation. I really can. Guys, let's be honest here. I collect these computers. I go through a lot of work to find out as much about them as I can. So that I can come in and have the materials to explain what I'm doing. And that takes time. A donation does not have to be millions of dollars. I never asked that much. If you can send me, if you really want something, I got a whole bunch of computers here. Alright? Some of them are working, some of them are not. Alright? Never promise anything. Hey, the stuff I'm offering basically for a little donation if you pick it up. You want it? You come and see me. If you like what you see, if you want to make a $10, $15 donation, that's great. I have no problem with that. But don't act like I'm being like you think I'm being trying to make a milk you for money here. I'm not. Really. I'm not. It takes a lot of work to do these videos. It takes a lot of resources, a lot of research. So when I come in here to the studio, it's not because I like to come in ahead of time with some knowledge of what I'm talking about. And that's the truth. Okay, so let's discuss things. Let's have a conversation about what the future is. Oh yes, by the way, I do have another potential project coming up. Computer was given to me, which is a more contemporary machine. It's got 4 gigabytes of RAM on it, and it's a PCIe machine. Okay. I think it's an HP, but I'm not really sure. The problem is the thing doesn't work. Okay. And one of the possibility reasons why it doesn't work, and it's a very good possibility, is the power supply is not good. So I have another machine that needs to need a power supply of the same type anyway. So I might consider in a few weeks, maybe a month, buying a new power supply for that machine. And it'll be a great power supply to have because I don't have a 1220 or 2024 ATX power supply at hand. I got lots of 20s, but I don't have a 24. So I need these kind of things for testing. I get people bring me computers all the time. Sometimes I get them for free. People say to me, "Hey, look, here's a machine." Drops it on my table. Now it's yours. You fix it. And that's not always easy, especially when you have to go digging in there and looking through machines, and that's when you have very little knowledge of what you're dealing with. To have everything that you could potentially need except for the one piece that you do not have, which is a power supply, means that if you get a 24-pin motherboard, I can't do anything with it. Really, I can't. I tried powering a 24-pin motherboard on 20-pin, and I could not get it to turn over. So that's an issue for me, is getting that to happen. Alright, by the way, real quick with the weather, and then I'm going to let you go. The weather forecast is showing, and it's going, like I said, it's going to be like by Thursday, Friday of this week. The temperatures are going to start to warm up a bit. Today's snow is not going to be as bad as it could have been. We're still potentially going to see maybe about 10 to 14 centimeters here in Winston. Not really a big deal. Don't panic, New England. And by the way, for all the ski resorts that are closed for the year, I understand why you did, but if you realize that potentially you could have been open a little longer, we'll see. Why would I say that? Because even the Weather Channel confirms this. It says April in New England is going to be colder than normal. It doesn't tell me about the rest of the month, but it just says April. But once you really think about it, I guess the likeliness of ski resorts being open in May and June is pretty unlikely. So, alright guys, that's it for now, but thank you very much for watching this. And again, if you have questions, I want to hear them from you. I want to talk to you. Okay? Are we going to have another Ask Us Anything live? I'd say hypothetically the possibility is maybe. What's another project, which I'm not ready to go into right now, but I'll just tell you this real quick. It's a work in progress. We're going to try to do another Ask Us Anything live. But given the results of the last year were not that good, I don't think it's going to happen. Not a live one anyway. But that doesn't mean I won't accept your questions. If you guys want to start asking questions to me, I will do my best to answer them in a timely manner, on camera or off camera. So you can still ask me questions. We'll do our best to answer them. As far as my eyes go, well, Mr. Right Eye, you have got ways to go. Left eye is fine, so, yeah, okay. Alright, so I'll talk to you later, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Hey, did you know there's a lot more going on right now at our websites? Are you watching all 4 of them? If not, check them out. There's a list right here. We got 3 YouTube channels and 1 audio-only channel for your enjoyment. So come on, dig in and see all the stuff we do here at the North American Snow Queen Palace.